Good morning, friends, colleagues, and everybody. I just wanted to give a quick update today, just with regards to what you can be doing at home during this period of isolation, with regards to nutrition and staying positive. We had a massive shock on Friday, where we had our doors forced closed by the government. And just reflecting on this now, it was vital at that point, just with what was needed to try to stop this curve continuing to grow, and social gatherings, and just thinking of One Fitness, the amount of people that gathered there. As tough as a pill it is to swallow, it makes sense, and it's just something now that we're going with and trying to remain positive about. For the last 14 years, I've worked in the fitness industry. I've taught classes, thousands of classes a year. I've exercised 2.5 hours a day for pretty much 14 years of my life, and this is enough torture as it is, but it's for the greater good, and we just have to remain positive in this situation. So folks, just with regards to food and the likes of how we can remain positive, how we fuel the body determines the path of how we feel today. When it comes to food, there's at least 3 types of eating. And I just want to explain some of the things that you're going to be feeling at home. So type 1 is emotional eating. This is something that we teach a lot in the club, that emotional eating, emotion has a massive part to play in how we eat. Our emotions have been tore upside down these last few days, and what we're going to have to do is battle the emotional eating that we face. Emotional eating is linked to comfort foods, your chocolates, your crisps, excessive drinking, things like that there as well. So that's just one thing that we have to watch out for as we find ourselves in isolation. So number 1 is emotion. Number 2 is instinctional eating. Instinct is like cravings. So if we find we've a wee bit more time on our hands, what we'll probably find is that we, out of instinct, just crave something, or something will come to mind. And that's another type that we're going to have to battle with in these days of isolation and being at home. The last one is habitual eating. So habitual eating is created by habits, and we're in a position now where we're going to be creating new habits and being at home potentially for the next few weeks. So it's really important to be establishing good habits and good habitual eating. Habitual eating would be having a cup of coffee and always having a biscuit with it, or sandwiches being accompanied by crisps. So when it comes to food, we're going to have to battle emotional eating, instinctual eating, and habitual eating. The problem with isolation is we will be hit with all 3 of these at once, and that can have catastrophic effects in how we feel, never mind the weight that we can potentially put on. But the food that we put in our body gives us the energy for each day, and gives us the ability to be positive and to be proactive and to be good examples. So what we need to do is have a plan. We're so used to having structure in our lives. Anybody that knows me will know that I live in a box of structure. I always have a plan. I always know what's going on. And even for myself, that's something I'm really struggling with now at home. As fitness instructors or fitness professionals, we got away with our eating because we were training so much. But what do we do now when we're in this part of isolation? So number 1 is have a plan. Control your snacking. Fill your house when you're doing your essential shops with food that is going to give you sustenance and not just a quick hit. Plenty of fruit, plenty of vegetables, drinking lots of water. The thing that we can do is fill our fridges and fill our pantries with crisps and chocolate and all of them comfort foods, but they're actually going to have a negative effect on how we feel and operate as people. In all your main meals, have a balance. Try to find a balance with your food. Good sources of protein, good sources of fruit and vegetables, carbohydrates as well. Choosing the right carbs that sort of keep us away from craving later on. And do your best to create a calorie burn. This is really important. us at One Fitness have been trying to offer support through fitness classes and through live classes that are going to be coming up towards the end of this week. But to do your best to try to create a calorie burn. That's something that we have really, really noticed. On average, we were probably as workers in One Fitness, we're burning 1,500 calories a day. And now that's something that's really hit at home with me is, I'm having to watch the likes of the calorie burn, and I'm eating noticeably less than what I normally would have. But again, I'm just adjusting to the environment that you've been placed in, and it's completely out of your control, even the ability of what you're able to do with exercise. But just to recap that, folks, have a plan, control snacking, and in your main meals have a balance and create a calorie burn. That's some advice that I would like to give you when it comes to food and nutrition in your home. Don't just go for the emotional eating, the instinctual eating, and the habitual eating. Be aware of it in your body. And just lastly, folks, what I want to leave you with is just a few thoughts. 3 things that I want you to focus on doing until One Fitness opens its doors again is be positive. You've seen probably the situations recently. This situation will bring out the best of us or will bring out the worst in us. And positivity is what's going to get us through this. So be positive. Find a purpose. A lot of us find our identity in our workplaces. A lot of us find our identity in helping others. That's the reason why I got involved in fitness, is because I found that I had a gift for serving people and helping people. But it's really important now that we all find a purpose, find a reason to get up in the morning. Simple tasks about the house. This morning I was painting a fence. I don't know why we put in such a massive creosote fence, but it just gave me a purpose today and to get up. We've been keeping an eye on our emails. We've been keeping an eye on getting in touch. So find a purpose. Help an elderly neighbour. Pick up a phone and ring a colleague that you don't see anymore. Pick up the phone and ring us and talk to us. But find a purpose. And have a plan is the last thing that I want to say. Have a plan for your day, because without a plan, you'll have nothing, and that's what you'll end up doing, and you'll be wasting these days of opportunity. So be positive, find a purpose, and have a plan. When all this has passed, and when all this is over, you're going to look back on these 2 or 3 months, and you're going to look back and see how you handled this situation. And make sure it's a situation that you can look back on and see growth and have seen development in you as a person and in your character. Folks, we're always here. At One Fitness, our doors may be closed, but our support continues to go on. So if you need anything, drop us a message, drop us an email. We've got all the points of contact that are now available. But thank you for all of your support, and we look forward to seeing you all again. I cannot explain how much that I miss being in One Fitness and being around the staff and the members. But it's going to be all the more amazing when we get back together. Thank you, folks. I'll talk to you soon.